Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is RuneSnow, and here we are ready to discover Magic the Gathering Top 10 Chamber cards, now at number 10. With the first being on our list, Chamber's Sentry. It's either from Jumpstart or Guilds of Ravnica. It's a rare, going for a whopping 10 cents on the market. That's right. So this card is kind of useless, but it is on the top 10 Chamber cards. X. So enters the battlefield with X +1 plus counters for each color mana spent on it. So this card is based around on the 5 colors, and the chances of you doing that are very unlikely and very useless. If you want to have that mana, you probably would want to spend it on something else. So this should be actually a common if anything else. So let's move on to number 9. Which we have is Simic Growth Chamber. This land is actually from various sets, uncommon or common, going for 20 cents on the market. This is actually kind of cool. Comes with the battlefield tap, but you have to return a land to your hand. So in the second turn, you put this out. You get 2 mana of any color. You can't play anything, but after that, you can use this land over and over again. So that's very impressive. At least you get 2 mana from this land. So let's move on to number 8. We have Rejuvenation Chamber. It's from Nemesis. It's uncommon, going for 10 cents on the market. So there is some kind of payback, just like with any other cards. But this one has Fading too. So basically, it comes in with 2 counters, and each turn you remove a Fading counter on it. You gain 2 life when you tap it. So it only has Fading 2, and you're paying 3 mana. The reason why it's at number 8 is because it is an artifact and it has more abilities, I believe, as an artifact. You can work with that, and you're gaining life with what you can do in the Magic world. So let's just move on to number 7, which is an interesting card called Conversion Chamber. It's from New Phyrexia. It's uncommon, going for 12 cents on the market. So as you can see, there's not a lot of cards quite high on the price value. So it costs 3 mana to put it into play, but you can exile target artifact card from a graveyard, put a charge counter on it. So remove a charge counter from it, put a 3/3 color Skull artifact creature token onto the battlefield. The drawback is you have to tap it every time, so basically you gotta wait every second turn to even put a artifact creature into play. That's 2 mana. That's on top of that. You got so many things you can do with that. Let's move on to number 6. We have Torture Chamber. It's a Tempest. It's a rare card, going for 26 cents on the market at the time of this video. So we're getting up with value in cards at least. Costs 3 mana for this artifact. It's an interesting picture. It comes with a pain counter on Torture Chamber. At the end of your turn, Torture Chamber deals 1 damage to you for each pain counter. But you can pay 1, remove all pain counters from the Torture Chamber. It deals 1 damage for each pain counter on a target creature. So quite a bit of drawback. If you're gaining life, this would be actually very helpful. Other than that, I feel like this is just going to be a painful card. So let's just move on to number 5. Halfway down our list is Energy Chamber. It's from 5th Dawn or Dual Decks, Elspeth versus Tezzeret. It's an uncommon, going for 74 cents on the market. I actually played with this card when 5th Dawn was first released. It's very fun to play with, I'll just say. It costs 2 mana to put this artifact into play. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact creature, or a charge counter on target non-artifact creature. So you definitely can have some fun with that, and with spells and abilities, you can actually have, like I said, have fun. I'm going to keep saying for this card. Definitely have fun with this card. Yeah, there we go. No more. So let's move on to number 4. And at number 4, we got Echo Chamber. It's from Tempest. It's a rare, going for 26 cents on the market. Reason why, well, I'll explain why it's at number 4 is because it costs 4 mana and 4 mana to tap it, which is kind of ironic that I have it at number 4. Target opponent chooses target creature he or she controls, put a token creature into play, and treat it as a copy. That creature is unaffected by summoning sickness. This turn, at the end of the turn, remove the token from the game, play this ability as a sorcery. I really like this card is because I like the ability of lack of summoning sickness, so you can attack it with that. Opponent has an very powerful creature. That opponent is either going to take the damage or block, and this card really works around it. So it's another creature you can have in play for just for 4 mana. So let's move on to number 3. Which we got is Chamber of Manipulation. It's from Odyssey. It's uncommon, going for only $1.13 on the market at the time of this video. I actually like this card only because of the picture. It's one of my favorite drawings on the Odyssey series. Costs 4 mana for this enchant land card. Enchant line has discard a card from your hand, gain control of target creature until the end of turn. Awesome. I really like this ability of this manipulation card because you could do that every turn. And that could be quite a pain in the butt. But because you control it, you can do so many things with it. That's why it's at number 3, is because you can just have fun. So let's move on to number 2. And at number 2, we got Genesis Chamber from Darkseid or Battle Bond. It's an uncommon for $1.42 at the market at the time of this video. Well, I'll explain it because a lot of these chamber cards seem to be artifacts. This one costs 2 mana. It says whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, if Genesis Chamber is untapped, that creature's controller creates a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. Well, it'll be pretty hard to tap this, so most likely you're going to get a 1/1 constantly, so you can beat the opponent for 1/1s constantly attacking. And it doesn't say once per turn, it just, you can keep doing it over and over and over again on the same turn. So you could definitely work around this. You can actually have this in a playable in a real deck. But let's move to the best card, the number 1 spot, which we got Null Chamber. It's from Mirage. It's a rare going for $2.58 on the market at the time of this video. I think this Enchant World card, which doesn't really exist, I wonder if they'll ever bring Enchant Worlds. That'd be kind of funny. Costs 4 mana. It says you and target opponent each name a card except a basic land. Those cards cannot be played. Simple, it's elegant, and annoying 100% if you know what the opponent has. And that's the top 10. I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.